that has he toured? I didn't see him before.
If I go this way,
And then when he gets over here, I'm going to need his
okay, okay. I just need to get more to the top.
Thank you to Lieutenant Governor Maldonado for the extraordinary leadership that he has shown while I was gone. And when this tragedy happened, how quickly he brought everyone together and led this whole effort, and keeping me up to date while I was on my Asian trip, and calling me. Also getting in touch with the President Obama, who I also have talked to from Asia. And so I want to say thank you for doing such an extraordinary job. I've gotten many, many phone calls, and everyone complimented me about your performance. So thank you very much. I also want to say thank you to Secretary Bettenhausen. But of course, nothing ever surprises me about him, because we have gone through many, many disasters and fires and mudslides and everything that you can think of. And you know, he has been an absolute jewel since I've come into office and became governor. He has been by my side and has really been efficient and effective, always bringing everyone together. So we want to thank him also. And Chief Dale Walters from CAL FIRE has been very, very helpful and just given me a briefing also, not only about this incident here, but also about Kern County fire. We have a big fire down there that is now 20% contained. So I want to thank him also for his great work. And then the State Fire Marshal Hoover, we want to thank him also, and Mayor Ruane, who has, you know, I just told him that how sorry I feel that, you know, that this has to happen in his neighborhood. And of course, we will do everything we can to help as quickly as possible. And we want to thank also Sheriff Monks and Police Chief Delford and Fire Chief Hag. Now, I just want to say right off the top that what was so impressive here, I also want to say thank you to all the officials, the local officials and state officials that, and political leaders that came here today to walk through this and to do an inspection tour. One of the things that happens always, because of our having so many disasters in California and so many fires and other things, people come together very quickly. And I think that's one of the things that I've heard right away, of how quickly everyone responded. If it is the fire departments at the local and the state level and on a federal level, if you talk about law enforcement, how well law enforcement worked together again with the fire officials and helped with the evacuations, how quickly they set up an evacuation center, and others, how quickly the volunteers responded and came in to volunteer and help the people in this area here. How quickly the helicopters and airplanes flew in here because no one could get to the scene to put out the fire, so they dumped water and fire retardants here. So there was really quick action, and they always say, every fire expert can tell you that what you do the first few hours is what counts. And I think that they responded very quickly those first few hours. My wife and mine prayers go out to the victims and to the families. As you have heard, that we have declared an emergency, we have signed an emergency declaration, and we also have asked President Obama, you know, to help us. And he, during my conversation with him, when I was in China at that time, was that he said anything that we need that he will respond to, and he will help us as quickly as possible. So we really want to thank the President for thinking of us and for responding so quickly. Again, I think the important thing is now to investigate. We have the investigators here. We want to find out exactly what happened. We know so far that a 100-foot pipe blew up, but we don't know exactly why. Was there something missing? Was it a weak link or something? But I think that's why we have the whole area locked off and secured so the investigators can go through, because the important thing is that something like this doesn't ever happen again. What is also important is that the PUC has instructed the PG&E to go and look at all the pipes now, all over the state of California, and see if there's any vulnerability there at any place, which I think is very important. And I want to thank PG&E for putting up $100 million for the victims to help them financially. I also was very happy to hear that they set up a one-stop shop so that people here can get their driver's license replaced and social security cards replaced as quickly as possible, and that everyone basically has come together. So thank you. And you know, I just got off the plane from Korea, where we met with the president and with business leaders over there in Korea, and talked about high-speed rail and other trade, how to improve trade with Korea, and also we were in China and in Japan. But I thought that even though originally I planned to go directly to Los Angeles from over there, I just wanted to stop here first, because this was my #1 priority, to see if everything is falling into place and if everyone is working together, and get a quick briefing. So I want to thank all of you for your patience, and I want to thank you for covering this incident so well. And again, thank you to everyone behind me here for their great effort and their great coordination and so on. Thank you very much, and if there are any questions, please feel free. Well, I've talked to him the day after the incident, and then when did we sign?
You just signed it at the
As a matter of fact, the one for the federal disaster declaration, we have signed that literally just a half an hour ago. That's why I wanted to come here and sign that. Yes, but I just want to also make sure that you understand that every single thing that will come out of this accident, out of this disaster, if there was a fault of somebody or a problem or something that has not been maintained or whatever it may be, you will know. There is no hiding of information, I can guarantee you that. I will get the report, and I'm on that because I'm a big believer, not so much in pointing fingers, but the only way we can learn from things that happen, from mistakes that are made, is by looking into it and acknowledging it honestly, and then making the changes so it doesn't happen again. That's how we can cut down on this kind of tragedies. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah. Because we have a terrific lieutenant governor who I trusted fully. It's just one of those unfortunate things that we were 4 hours in the air flying to China when this happened. But this is why we have a lieutenant governor. And this is why I have appointed and chosen Lieutenant Governor Maldonado, because I could trust him. He's a reliable person, he's experienced, he's one of those guys that doesn't mind getting his hands dirty and to get in there. He's not a divisive person, he's a person that brings people together. To him, all of this parties and all this doesn't mean anything, he just wants to help. And I think he has done a terrific job. As a matter of fact, that's what President Obama was actually complimenting me on. He said, you know, I just talked to your Lieutenant Governor, he's really terrific, he's on top of the situation. So it's good that you have someone out there in California. So I think that that's the way the system works, and I'm very happy that he was here coordinating, and that we have Secretary Bettenhausen here, and that we have so many talented and hardworking people here that came together while I was in Asia and on a trade mission, drumming up more business for California, selling more goods of California ideas, creating jobs, and so on and so forth. So it was a terrific and very successful trip. I will make sure that we will get every single detail and information, and that we will share that with you, because you have the right to know everything that went wrong, if something went wrong, and why it went wrong, and everything. Right now, it's going to be very difficult to get this information, because one agency tells the other agency you can't talk because this is under investigation. You're only allowed to talk to the investigators, which I just heard here. He's not allowed to give all the details. believe me, within the next few days, you will have the information because I'm back now and I'm going to get into drill down to that information because you in the community have the right to know. That is the bottom line. Thank you very much. No, absolutely. And I'll be back, and you will get the information that I can guarantee you. Okay. Thank you very much. Sure.